Today I'm going to show you how to sew on a button. There are two types of buttons. Ones that look like this, and they have holes in them. And then there's buttons that look like this, they're very decorative, and they have one hole on the bottom. This is called a shank button. A shank is there so that when you put your two pieces of material together, they actually create this spacing so that the material goes in between and it doesn't pucker. If you are going to sew on a button that looks like this, you actually have to create enough of a gap in between the two material and the button so that it's not going to pucker either. So we want to make sure that we kind of create that. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So today what I'm going to have you do is find a button that has 2 or 4 holes, and here we have our material. We're going to begin by securing our stitch. And I'm going to go through the back side, leave a bit of the material hang, go back through the front, go in between the 2 threads and pull it tight, and that secures our stitch. Then I'm going to bring the needle back up to the front, and there's different ways that you can do this. You can take a pin at this point and you can just put the pin across, and that's going to create enough of a gap. And then you can put your button on there. Now there's 4 holes here, and you can think of it as A, B, C, D. And I'm going to come up in one of the holes. And if I'm coming up in this hole, there's different ways that you can sew this on. I can make a direction that goes between these 2 holes, or I can actually make an X. The X is more for decoration than it is for anything else. The typical way that you see a button sewn on is going between these 2 holes and then between these 2 holes. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So I came up through this hole, and now I'm going to go down through this one, which goes over the top of this needle that I have. And I'm actually going to hold the material like this. Now I want to pull the needle and thread all the way through. I'm going to make sure that I do not pull it tight. There it is. Now I want to repeat this 5 times on each side. So there was 1, and down. There's 2. Now I can see on the back where I went up. I really want to keep this thread even. So I don't get any knots. 3. 4. And the final one on this side. Pull it up, bring it to the back side. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross over on the back side to this bottom hole, okay? Once you do that, you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to go in between these holes 5 times. 4, 5. Now that I've gotten it 5 times on both sides, I need to secure or tie off. So I'm going to go to the back. This is where I brought my needle up the last time, and as close to that stitch as I can. If I get too far away from it, it's not going to be real secure. So as close as I can, I'm going to grab a small amount of the material, throw it over the end of my needle, and pull it tight. And then I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to grab just a little bit less there. Then I'm going to snip this free, take this pin out, and there I have a needle sewn on. Pretty neat on the back. You can see how it looks like a Z. or N, depends on how you're looking at it. And it's not tight against the material, it gives a little bit of space.